Hello and welcome to another behind the scenes video. This one is going to be me touring my PlayStation 4 Sketchbook world again. And there's a reason for this. So I've toured this world already before, but since then I've added a whole bunch to it. And the reason I'm updating it now is because I'm never going to really use this world again. And the reason for that is because the reason I have a PlayStation world is because I used to always design things with my PlayStation Vita, kind of when I'm traveling, like on the road or just in bed or whatever. I kind of played Minecraft a lot on the Vita and used that to plan things I'm going to build in my lovely world. But a little thing called the Nintendo Switch got released not too long ago and's got Minecraft, and that has kind of replaced the Vita already for what I use on the go. So I'm not saying I'm never going to use the Vita again because it is smaller and easier to carry, so who knows, maybe I am going to use it, but I think I'm probably never going to update this world again. So I thought now would be a good time to show you things that you may not have seen before. So I'm going to try and keep track of things that I showed you before in the last video and things that are new. So yeah, let's get started. So this is the Smart Art Museum, which was kind of notable for the floor, which kind of looks reflective. It's not actually reflective, as you kind of saw from above, that it's basically the exact same thing built again. So this is kind of when I designed that and worked out what would look best. I don't think had I designed everything that was on the inside? I think I had. Yeah, I'd already designed what everyone was going to build on the inside. Is this different? Oh, William Beaver was going to build life. And then this. Okay, I'm not even entirely sure what that was about. I think it was supposed to be someone like struggling against the tides of water or something. And I think I thought that was a little bit too vague and strange. So I ended up changing that. And you can also see here, this is me kind of just working out the size that this place was going to be. So I could fit in enough rooms and kind of have an interesting shape. And also make it fit in with the area I had in my lovely world. Over here, this is actually my Bombs Away minigame, which is the game where you, let's see if it's going to work. Actually, I don't know if there's other torches underneath. Okay, there are. So basically, I'd place down TNT and then it would blow up and you'd try to destroy each other's end crystals. It looks like at this point I hadn't worked out the end crystals or the final design. This looks like I was just working out the layout for the maze. And as far as I can tell, the layout didn't change of the actual maze too much from when I built it in the actual video. And the reason I built it all out of diamonds instead of obsidian, I've kind of mentioned this before, but it makes it much easier to count how many blocks are along. So say if I have a screenshot of this, I can easily count that this is 3 blocks along, but if it was, I don't know, say dirt or something, then it's kind of harder to count the individual blocks. You know, when it's only 3, it's not too difficult, but it makes it much easier. And then the gold on top is just marking where the windows are, because if I have a picture looking straight down like this, I can know exactly how to build this thing, because I can tell that, right, there's supposed to be a window here because there's gold there. So that was me kind of working out the design of the layout. As you can see, it looks like I hadn't worked out the idea of using end crystals yet. So originally, the idea was that you would have to try and light up lights, or I guess turn off lights. And so let's kind of see how this would work. So I guess you'd put TNT down there and it would blow up the torch. That was it. So I can't really do it because this is all diamond, so it would get blown up. But I guess if that torch got blown up, then yeah, you can see that the lights get turned on up here. And then this would be obsidian. And then this would be a way to reset it. So you could go and put the torch back down here again and then do that. And then that would be the way you reset the game. And this method worked. I mean, this method was fine, but I think using the explosive end crystals, and once I worked out that the end crystals kind of blow up if there's an explosion nearby, it was just a way cooler and more visual way to be able to do it, but that was the original design. So there was more design work I did on this, but I was doing it on the Xbox 360 Sketchbook world. I obviously got home from wherever I was and ended up carrying on doing it there. And I guess this was me working out the color scheme a little bit here. I guess I was trying to be a little bit adventurous and using some different blocks, even though it ended up just being, I don't know, white and red, I think it ended up being. And I guess this was me just working out some of the redstone down there. So over here we have, I don't even know the name of this game. What's the name of this game called? It's called, is there a sign on it? Nope, I guess I didn't know the name back then. But this is basically like the, kind of like the volleyball game was what I always described it as, where you kind of got to pass an arrow. There's only one arrow. You got to pass it to your teammate. And then the aim of the game is to destroy a minecart, which would be up here. And then you'd get the point. So this is, I think this is pretty much exactly how it ended up. You can see that I worked out the mechanics and the layout and the redstone of the game first before I even worried about what it ended up looking like. That's pretty standard for me, just to kind of work out the mechanics first and then choose the style. And I like the look of this game. I think this game still looks pretty cool. And you can see a few examples of me kind of working out the color scheme down here. I think I may have actually even changed the colors a little bit, because sometimes I'll work out the color scheme and it will look good, but then I'll find the perfect place to build it in my lovely world, and I'll realize that it might be next to another building that was green, for example, and I'll be like, it shouldn't be green, because then there's two green things next to each other. So sometimes I do end up kind of changing it last minute, but yeah, as you can see, I'd pretty much already worked out the mechanics when I was building this version here, and then the final one was just kind of fine-tuning it. I guess the redstone wasn't completely working, but close enough, I guess. Right, what else is new then? Spleef Chief. I'm pretty sure I hadn't shown you Spleef Chief before, so this, once again, looks pretty close to the final design, I would say. There may be a few small differences, but this is pretty much how I remember it. Is there any workings? It looks like I may have kind of decided the style of that one almost immediately. You can see me kind of playing around with a few different color schemes. I ended up choosing, I guess, clay rather than wool, but that's pretty much the same color scheme, but with the different materials. And then, I know what this is for. So this is me working out Sheep Shuttle. So Sheep Shuttle is kind of started off as a boat race, and this was me kind of just trying out boats sliding on ice and just how much fun it was. So this was me kind of just working out a bit of the track here and seeing if it was fun. This is when I realized about picking up animals and kind of the way that the water would work, and I think that was where I got the idea for Sheep Shuttle. Of course, at that point it was pigs, and I was just trying out a bunch of stuff. I was seeing, does it matter if there's soul sand underneath the ice? Don't know what this was working out. And then, is this going to be firing out water? I guess, yeah, I was trying to work out whether maybe the water could get turned on and off and stuff. All sorts of things I was playing around with. And then ways to get up and down was another big thing, because you couldn't just sail your boat up like you used to be able to. I kind of kept changing it, and then eventually, I had the idea of doing a staircase of pistons, and that stayed what the design was going to be until very last minute, where I ended up changing it to having slime blocks that boosted you up. So once again, I designed the actual thing on my Xbox 360 Sketchbook world, but at this point, I'd pretty much worked out the layout. So this is the starting line, and you would loop around like this. I added a few more loops, I think, in the final one. And then, of course, at this point, I was thinking it was pistons that would boost you up. You go and grab the sheep here, come back the other way, and then drop down there. So I'd already worked out the general layout. I just had no idea how you'll get boosted up and what the color scheme would be. Down here we have the hat trick, which is the magic shop. And you may remember in actually the video I did where I toured the world last time of this PlayStation 4 Sketchbook world, I mentioned that I had the idea of doing a magic shop, but I actually did it. So this is, I'm pretty sure, rather close to what it ended up actually looking like in my lovely world. It was a relatively simple thing to work out, building the giant hat. I just loved the style of it. Spent a little while working out the bunny ears. I remember actually having a debate with Squishy when we were designing the bunny ears about how big they should be and the shape of them, and I ended up being stubborn and building it the way I wanted to build it. And this is me working out for the torches, because I did the torches, I think I ended up using half slabs. Oh no, I used stairs, I think, and they've spun around since I've transferred it to the PlayStation. Well, no, is it not? It's not letting me spin it, actually. I think I need to spin it before it has the torch in. But yeah, I was trying to work out the best design, so I was just putting a load of different things inside of item frames like this just to see what looked best, and I'm happy with the thing that I ended up going with. And then also just playing around with some end crystals as well, seeing how close can I put them to the wall and how will I not blow up the entire space. A little bit of me trying to work out that stuff. Right then, let's keep moving. So I showed you that in the last episode. Oh, this was me working out about jumping boats, by the way. This was me seeing how far could I jump in a boat, and I think you can make this jump. It kind of looks like it would be too far for you to be able to make it, but yeah, you can just about make that jump, and I think I could have made it easier if I had some more speed there as well. So this is me working out the fizzy shop. As you can see, it's a little bit more boxy and square there. That was the original design for the magic shop. And I haven't shown you this yet. This is the jungle gym, a relatively recent thing that I ended up building in my lovely world. And you can see that I had different sizes of it. I think I ended up choosing the smaller one. So I think I built this one first, and then I thought it was just a little bit too tall and kind of taller than it needed to be. And I ended up shrinking it down. So at this point, I like the way these trees look on the inside, but I realized it was probably just a little bit too big, and so I ended up making it a little bit smaller. This should be a little bit closer to what you kind of ended up seeing when I built it in my lovely world, if you've seen that video. And then here's me working out everything that was going to be on the inside, rather than kind of building it inside the actual building and continually destroying it and rebuilding it and destroying it and rebuilding it. I basically designed everything here with just the same layout. I think this is pretty close. Originally, this was going to be just lifting up weights. Then I came up with the idea of you physically lifting up water, which I kind of like the idea of that. Like you're forcing that lever down to pull up the water. That's like you doing your weights. And you can see there's a whole bunch of different designs around here of me kind of trying out different things in that area. This is interesting. This is another recent one. This is Drench. This is the game which has kind of the giant weird cones with holes in, and it's the game where you need to go and find string. And I think originally it was called No Strings Attached, I was going to call it. I like the name Drench instead. So originally there was a whole load of dispensers that were going to dispense water. So the idea of the game, if you haven't seen it, is you hide a piece of string in a room, you'll then switch to the other person's room, and then you would have to try and find their string. Once you've got enough string, you put it in a row here and set this off, which would drop a load of water down on the other player to mark that you've won. Also, it resets the game because it breaks away all of the strings. So that's the general idea. You can see I had a very different design on the inside. Now, this looks so rubbish now that I'm looking at it. Now I know the real game. But originally, all of these were full of water. And this might even be working. I don't know if I actually got all of the redstone working. It is! There we go. So originally, there was going to be loads of dispensers firing water, but I managed to not only make this room bigger, but also design it in a way so there's only one dispenser. And even though that's a really simple game, that game took a long time to design. That took several days to basically design that game. And once again, I carried on building it in my sketchbook world, which is where I designed the cone and kind of worked it out a little bit more thoroughly, so I don't have the final design here, but I will be touring the 360 world a little bit more to show you kind of the different stages I had trying to work that out. And this was just my little tester zone. So once again with Squishy, I basically built this and I hid string in the room and was basically seeing how long it took for her to find it, to basically work out how difficult it should be to find the string, like how big the room should be, and then also playing around with different materials to see how well you could see the string on these different materials and things along those lines. That was me just working all of this out. I guess at some point I tried it out with quartz, but it was much easier to see the string on the quartz rather than the wool, so I went for the wool. Right, what else haven't I shown you before? So I kind of came from that direction. Let's just keep making my way around the outside here. And I'm sure I'm going to run across a few other things that I didn't get a chance to show you in the last episode. This is all the shoe for you stuff and the treadmill. This is the banana. I showed you that before. I'll leave a link in the description to the other time I toured this world in case I'm flying over this stuff and you're like, hey, wait, what was that? I have done a whole other video touring this entire place in case there's anything else that I've missed. And I don't know if this is this might be everything, to be honest. This might be everything. Oh, here's a little fact. This lemon, which I was playing around with, this was going to be for my comedy club, my Laugh on Logs comedy club, before it was Laugh on Logs. I was going to have a big lemon on it. I don't know. The idea of just having a lemon on the comedy club just kind of made me laugh, and you know, comedy clubs are supposed to make you laugh, so I did mention something about that in the previous video. So that was meant to be a comedy club, so now you know. But I do believe I've kind of spoke through all of the new additions that I have made to this the sketchbook world. Sorry if I did miss anything, but yeah, I think this is a pretty good overview of all of the things that I designed on here. So yeah, there'll be more tours coming up with the 360 world. Like, there's less new things to show on there, just because generally if I'm designing it on the 360, I record like a full behind the scenes for just that single build. But there are a lot of things that I finished off on the 360 world that I haven't showed you. And then of course, there'll be a tour coming up on the Nintendo Switch Switch world, which has already a whole bunch of things in it. But sadly, I can't show you any of that yet because it's all things that I haven't built in my lovely world yet, and no spoilers. Anyway, though, that is the end of this episode here. Hopefully you enjoyed this behind the scenes video. Plenty more coming up on the channel, so stay tuned for that. But for now, I want to thank you all very much for watching, and I will see you all later. Bye!